Hey, what's up guys? EnteiTainment here. My name is Daniel, and for tonight's episode I am actually not bringing you a team builder on Showdown, but rather a sort of how-to video addressing a comment by a YouTuber with the username Rohan, and I'm sorry if I butchered that, but at least that's what it looks like. And if you want to check out his channel, I'll definitely leave a link in the description, but from what I could see, it looks like he does Pokemon videos as well, and he's a new YouTuber like me. So definitely go check him out if you want to see his content, and hopefully you'll enjoy it, because although I myself haven't seen any of them, he definitely has a lot of content. So if you want to check him out, that'd be great. One thing I will also add is that YouTube apparently added this thing known as cards that you can apparently use to, I guess, advertise another YouTuber's channel. So I might put his card in the video. It'll be embedded in the video, maybe on, I think it goes on the right hand side, but if I manage to figure that out, I will put his card in there. But if I don't, it'll be in the description. But anyways, his question was about my intro and how I made it and just stuff like that. So I thought I would use this video to explain that and to explain how I just record generally. So since how I record is so simple, I will address that first because it'll be quick, and then I will get into the intro. So what I used to record is just QuickTime Player, which I think is on basically every single computer in the universe. But what I do is I go to QuickTime Player, I open it up, and I go to File, and I start a new screen recording. I can't do it now, obviously, because I am currently doing one, but I click new screen recording, and then I either drag a box around what I want to record, or I click on the whole screen like I am now to record the whole screen. And it's really easy and self-explanatory. It explains to you exactly how to do it. I can't click on it and show you, but that is how I record it. And for a mic, I'm just using the built-in mic. I'm not using any kind of like Turtle Beaches or anything like that. I'm just recording with the microphone in my computer. And I think it sounds okay at least, so I keep it. And that is how I record. The other program I use is iMovie, and you'll see that, let me get this out of here. That was my first attempt at making this video, and it did not go very well. But you'll see that I have sort of the intro here and the outro, and I'm just going to drag the video right in here when I'm done. But this is iMovie, and it keeps track of all your videos up here. Here you can see every video I've made, and it's really easy. You can drag files from to your desktop right into here. So I'll drag, I'll just show you. I'll drag something random, like one of the Crowder videos. I'll drag Crowder #1 just right in here, and drag it in here so that it's in front of the other one. And well, this one is the complete thing, so it has the intro, but I just do that, and I do my editing, and yeah, so I just use iMovie and QuickTime Player to make my videos. And I can make another video about QuickTime Player if you guys are actually interested in it, because it's not very complicated, but I want this video to be mainly about the intro, since that was what the question was. So I just wanted to go over that really quick because it's super easy and really anyone can do it. I made this outro using PowerPoint. You can probably tell it's really bad, but we are going to talk more about the intro because that is probably why you're here. So what we're going to do first is download a program known as Blender. You can see I've already typed this in because of my previous attempt. And what you're going to do is click on the top link, or whichever one is blender.org/download. And you're going to come to this page, and it's going to give you a Windows option or a Mac option or a Linux if you're that kind of person. But I went with Mac because that's what I have, but you will go with whichever one is for you, obviously. So, but once you have that installed, you can open it up from your applications. I actually have it in my dock. Down here, so I'm going to click on it from here, and it will bring you to this. And there's this sort of possessed sheep caterpillar, but don't worry about him. Just click outside of this and you'll see this screen. And if you see this, you're good. You're all set. This is the program, and you were not snookered into getting something else. Oh, it is free. I'll mention it is also free. You don't need to pay anything for this program. There's a bunch of scary things going on the outside, but I will talk about those once I talk about one other thing. So we're going to go back to your browser, and we're going to go to YouTube, and we're going to make a search, and it is going to be Blender Intro Templates. If my computer could catch up to me, there we go. And a very noteworthy channel is iFresh HD. He makes tons and tons of these videos with just Blender templates on top of Blender templates. And it's fantastic. Some of them have 10, some of them have 60, like this one, which I'm going to talk about. This is the one I actually used when I was making my intro. But you can see, you can go through all of these, and there's no way you can't find a template for your specific channel. It's impossible. There's so many. So we are going to click on this one because that's the one I used. And when I was actually making my video, I went to 23. But you can see that it starts at 60 and just kind of counts down. So we have 59, 55, whatever. So you can watch this video, pick one you like. I picked 23, and I will play it for you after 24 ends. And yeah, you may notice that that is basically my intro. So all I had to do was edit a couple things, and it's super easy, and I'm going to show you how. So you come down here, and you go into Show More, and you'll see every template is down here with the corresponding number. So I picked 23 because that was the one I liked, but you can see that there's plenty to choose from. So you pick whichever one you like, and it'll bring you to this, I think it's Mediafire? Yeah, a Mediafire link. And it'll say download. And I know this site seems a little bit sketchy, and it kind of is, but it worked for me, and it didn't give me a virus. But I will say one quick thing. This tab will start doing some weird stuff once you click download, because it downloads in a separate tab. So just to be safe, I would click download and close this other tab immediately. As you see, I just did it there. And you'll just be left with this blank tab with nothing really happening and just your zip file downloading in the background. So I would do that just to be safe. Nothing happened to me. I didn't download a virus. You can see all these comments of successful trials. Not all of them are in English, but you know, it's safe. I'm not giving you guys a virus or anything. So you'll see that we're downloaded. We're going to open this thing up. We're going to unzip it, and it's going to, sorry about the other files, it's going to bring you to your downloads, and it's going to be on this little file. For me, it's ITB-v24. I don't know if that's the generic name for every single one. I kind of doubt it, but it's possible. So you're going to expand this, and you're going to find the .blend file within here that has the little orange blend icon right here. So just to quickly mention, the MP4 is also in here, but you don't usually want to use this one because, as you can see, it just has name, and that's not what you want. You don't want an MP4 with name. So you do want to go with the blend file. So we're going to double click on that to open it. Sorry, after closing this, you can't have those multiple blend things going on. So let me try that one more time. There we go. And you're going to see basically the skeletal structure of the clip you saw in the video. And so now we're back with the screen we were kind of at before, just with name and some blue things. So one thing I will quickly get out of the way is that you can collapse these left tabs. You can click and drag to the left and just get them out of here, because we will not be using those, and they're kind of scary, and they just take up space that you can use to actually get a grip of what you are working with. So collapse those right away, but expand this right one, because this right one is actually going to be very important, and I want you guys to be able to see what's going on in here. So definitely do that. So the first and foremost thing you're going to want to do is edit your text. So to do that, you right click. There's two ways to do that. You either right click on the letters, press tab and delete that stuff and type your channel name, which was EnteiTainment for me, which you can see kind of goes off the screen, but I will address that later. So right now we're just going to do name, and you press tab again to exit it. So tab to enter, backspace, type, tab to exit, and you're good. The other way to select it is to go through this drop down over here and click on where you see text, just left click. You can do that generally. You can see that different blue blocks are being highlighted when we click on cube cell, each of the different cube cells. So that's a different way to select if you don't like right clicking. So just thought I would mention that. So remember, it's selecting the text, tabbing, backspacing, typing out the channel name, and then tabbing again. Make sure you tab again. You want to see a yellow outline after you're done. So one other thing I will say is down here where you see all these numbers, these are actually the frame numbers. So you can see the light gray is actually the clip itself, and the dark gray is stuff where nothing is happening. So you can see that this video is just short of 360 frames, and you can scroll through here by swiping left and right, and you can click anywhere in here and it'll bring you to that exact frame that you clicked on. So you can see our EnteiTainment spinning around in here. And I'm going to address a problem that was pretty huge for me at the time that I was making this video. And that is this box here is all that you see when you render your final clip. And this is extremely important. You do not see anything out here. You see this. And that was detrimental to me because I sat through like a half-hour render and was left with something that you couldn't even see the name. So just to make sure that you guys do not encounter the same pain that I went through, I'm going to address this. So you're going to come to this menu right here, and you're going to left click on the orange camera up here, and you're going to see it's going to select the camera by highlighting it in yellow. And you're going to come down here to this little menu where you see all these tabs, and you're going to click on the camera again, and you're going to go down to lens, and you're going to see something called focal length. And this is how you're going to be zooming in and out. So you go down to zoom out and up to zoom in. And how I'm doing that, there's a couple ways. You can click repeatedly like a madman over here, which is going to take you years, or you can click sort of in the middle and drag your mouse to the left to go down, or drag your mouse to the right to go up, if that makes sense. Yeah? So you're not clicking furiously, you're just dragging left and right. Okay? Does that make sense? So yeah, so since the channel name is EnteiTainment, I obviously needed the focal length to be a little smaller so that I could actually see everything that was going on. And now you can see that EnteiTainment will likely be within our frame for the entire thing. Yeah, so maybe it's still a little bit too big because you can see it pops out maybe a little too soon. Obviously we want it to pop out eventually because we want it to have that effect of us coming towards it and it sort of going behind us, but we want to make sure that at least for part of it the entire name is visible. So like right here, that's probably perfect. So just make sure that your text is within this box, or else you won't see it. So thought I should add that because that wasted a lot of my life that I will not get back. So, but now we're going to get into the fun part once you make sure your camera is all set up. Oh, I will mention one other thing. You'll see that we can, by sort of scrolling, we can manipulate our view. And we can go all over the place and look from above it and look below it. It's actually pretty cool just to sort of swipe around and see what's going on. And you can even play it. You can still play the video from out here and watch it from a different angle. So you'll see that this was really interesting to me actually, because you'll notice that the text is actually not what's moving. Well, I guess here it is. But the text just spins from right here. The camera actually zooms in steadily. And that is what is creating the effect, not the text actually slowly closing in. So I thought that was interesting, but that's not the point. If you're ever stuck out here and you don't know how to get back to your camera view, which is essential for actually making sure that it's within the camera view, you need to press 0 on your numpad if you're on a computer, or if you're on a laptop that has a numpad. But I don't know if those exist. But anyways, so if you're on a laptop and you do not have a numpad, you need to go to File and click on User Preferences, which is towards the middle, and you'll be brought to this window here. And you go up to the top and click on the Input tab, which is right next to Editing, and you're going to go down the left-hand side and click Emulate Numpad, which explains that it's very useful for laptops, and your 1 to 0 keys will act like numpad 1 to 0. So you're going to check that box and then just close this out. It'll save automatically. And now you can press 0 and it'll bring you to your camera. And you can mess around if you want to play with different views. There's 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. But 0 is the one that is essential. 0 is the camera view, and it's what the viewers are going to see and what you are going to see when you actually get around to rendering it. So I will talk about rendering really quick, because this is actually not exactly what you're going to see. So to render, you click on this camera icon here, and you scroll up to the top, and you click render. It's pretty simple, but you're going to see this sort of expanding black hole that fills with the camera view, with what the camera actually sees, and you need to wait for this bar up here to finish doing what it's doing. It's going to pause more than likely while it thinks about the effects that you added, and then once this bar is gone, that's when it's actually complete, and this is what they'll actually see. So you'll notice it glows a little more, and well, that's basically it. You can't really see the background right now, but it's sort of a bluish background. So just thought I would mention that this is what you'll actually see. This is frame 132 of what you will actually see. So to get out of this view, you click on the landscape down here, and you click 3D view, and that'll bring you back to what we know and love. And it's not the one at the very bottom left. This one controls what's happening down here. And if you mess up and hit 3D view here, you'll see this is kind of freaky and we want the timeline, so just click back on that and click timeline, and you should be all set. So that is that addressed. So now you have your camera, and you have, actually you just kind of have your camera. So I'm going to talk about the fun part. So we're going to right click on our text, because that's what we want to change, and we're going to click on this little circle over here, which is known as material. And you can see this is where things get a little more fun, because you can pick your color, and you can pick something called intensity. And intensity is that, my voice is cracking so hard, I'm sorry. Intensity is that glow that we were seeing before, so if you want more glow, go with that, and if you want less glow, go with that. Probably don't go 0, and probably don't go 1, because you really won't be able to see it. So definitely whenever you're changing anything, make sure you render it afterwards. Render a certain frame to see if you can actually read the text, because if you make it too intense or too not intense, you won't be able to read it. So pay attention to that, and I will also note that you can change the color of the cells as well. Oh my god. You can change the color of the cells as well by clicking on any of these. I'm going to drink some water. Hang on, I'm going to cut this. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm very sorry about that. When it's super hot like this, my voice just cannot handle it. I don't know why. It may also be because this is my second take of this episode and my voice is just done. But we are going to pretend that didn't happen and start talking about these blue objects you see here. So you can change the color of these two in the same way you change the color of the text. And the nice thing is, it won't just change the color of one of them, it will change the color of all of them when you start dragging it through here. So you don't need to go through and type in the same RGB for every single one. You can just pick purple, for example. So we're going to go with green and purple, and we're going to render it with a slightly lower intensity. We'll say 0.8 or something. And then we're going to click on the camera and render it and see if we like how it looks. And remember, it's going to pause while it's figuring out the effects. So you need to make sure this white bar up here is gone. And once it is, you're good. So when that is gone, you can see that this is way too bright, I think. So we might even want to turn that down before we actually render it out. But it's your call. You can do however bright you want. So we're going to go back to 3D view right here. And this is the part that I sort of struggle with. And I might pause it here to fully understand what I'm talking about because it hasn't been working a couple times. But I will mention one more thing before I go. In the materials tab, there's a ton of stuff that you can play with. And although I didn't really touch any of these, there's almost limitless the amount of stuff you can do. Some things I don't even understand myself. So if you want to play around with this and you want to make a really cool intro with different like wire or I don't know, crazy stuff, definitely go for that. I'm just going to explain the color and the intensity because that's all I used for my intro and I think it looks fine. It's just sort of the bare basics, changing the color and changing the intensity. That's all I did. Oh, and I guess changing the text too. But even in Transform, there's a lot of different things you can do as well. So if you want to look at that, be my guest, but I'm sorry, I won't be able to explain any of that to you guys. But one final thing I will mention is when you go back to the camera, you'll see that here the resolution should be 1920 by 1080, and this is 1080p, and this should be at 100%. And if it's not, you should put it at 100% because if it's at 50, sometimes it defaults to 50, and I don't know why, because this is going to be 540p, which is not what you want. You want 1080, so that should be at 100. If it's not, fix it. I don't know why. Sometimes it defaults to 50, and that is going to be that. I'm going to pause it while I figure out the next step because I don't fully understand it and it's been a while since I did it. So give me 1 sec, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just had to make a quick cut there because it was acting up earlier and I'm not sure what was up and I wanted to make sure it was clear about how to actually render the video successfully. And when I tried to render it last time, it didn't work and I wasn't sure what was up, but I just tried it now and it was fine. So you're going to be in the camera tab and you're going to scroll down to the output and expand it, and you're going to see here's where you can name it, and I'm just going to name it intro, and you're going to select the file type here, and it's going to default to I think H.264. I don't know what the heck that is, but so when I was watching tutorials about this, he chose AV Raw, and when I did that, it didn't work for me. It wouldn't open. It said it was damaged. So I went with QuickTime because that's what I know. But if you feel more comfortable with MPEG or JPEG or any of these really, I don't know what most of them are except for QuickTime, AV, JPEG, and MPEG. But so this is the file type, and you want to do movie. You don't want to do image because these will give you just the frame that you're selected on. You want to do movie, and you want to do whatever works for you. So for me, it was QuickTime, and for you, I assume it will be QuickTime as well. The quality will be defaulted at 75, I think, when you do that, but you want that to be 100% because we want to make sure that your video is looking fine. Down here, I didn't notice this when I was actually rendering, so I'll make this will come up again in a little bit towards the end of the episode, but if you want to select one of these audios, you can try it because I actually had that problem. It rendered without audio because I had no audio selected, and I don't feel like sitting through another render of this, but if you want to do it with audio, definitely try that because I was surprised when I saw that. I didn't notice that. But basically when you have all this figured out, you have the quality turned up, you're making sure you're at 1080p and at 100%, and you're at QuickTime, RGB, not black and white, you go to render up in the top left and you click render animation, and that should start. Okay, see this? See this? I did not change anything from the last time. I did not change a single thing. I literally just explained what this was and now it won't render. So I'm a little frustrated and confused, but I guess I will have to make another cut, and I'm sorry, but I'll be right back. I'm not sure what's happening. Okay guys, I am back. I figured it out. it was being a little bit anal about how I named the file. So what you're going to want to do is click on this little file cabinet next to the name, and you're going to want to type in whatever name you want in here. So I'm still going to pick intro. You're going to click on the desktop or wherever you're saving it and just hit accept. And now that we've double checked all our stuff, that's QuickTime and the quality's turned up, and you can choose audio if you want. Now you go render and you render the animation. And now finally, this is sort of the screen you will see. And you will probably just have to let this run because it's going to do this 300 odd, 400 odd times. And it's just going to go through each frame and render it out until it is complete. And as much as you love this, as I love you guys, I'm not going to sit through this and show you the final product. I'm just not. But that's how you do it. So just while we're on the topic of audio, I will say one other thing. When you are in this video, and you'll see if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the songs for each of the templates, and you'll see that when I scrolled through, I found 23, and I saw Nope / something Russian, and I thought there was a song called Nope / something Russian, and I searched to no avail, and I came back here a little bit annoyed, only to realize that this must mean Nope in Russian because there's a couple of them, and I searched for a while and I couldn't find it. So if you have your heart set upon a song and it doesn't have, you have your heart set upon a template and it doesn't have a song listed, what I did is I played, literally what I just played for you, I played this and recorded the audio through my internal speakers, and I just used that audio clip and put it behind behind the video that I had rendered that didn't have any sound, and that worked pretty well. And it is kind of necessary for ones like this because you'll notice that the text kind of moves to the beat of the music, so without the music or with different music it's not nearly as cool. So just if you do encounter that hurdle, that's how I got over it. I recorded using my internal speakers and just played the audio out through the speakers. So that's how I got around that, and that's just a way you can get around it. I think it sounds fine as well, so you can get around it that way if this audio feature doesn't work for you, which I'm surprised I missed in the first place. But so that's going to do it for this video. Definitely a huge shout out to iFresh HD for his sick channel and making my intro possible, and the intro to what I assume are many other channels as well. So definitely all credit for these templates go to him, and he definitely deserves it. He has a lot of followers and he is really good at what he does, I think. So definitely shout out to him. And that is going to do it for this episode. So thank you guys very much for watching. Like if you enjoyed. I can talk more about iMovie if that's something that interests you guys, but if not, then I won't. It's a pretty simple program, and if you're actually interested, I'm sure you can figure it out on your own. You don't need me to make a half-hour video explaining it, but I thought it was kind of necessary for this because Blender is a program that I don't think a lot of people are familiar with. But thank you for watching and for the support, and thank you for the question. And that'll do it. EnteiTainment out.